Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil. Today I want to talk about Arceus Duraludon, a deck I've talked about before. The way it's being built and played today is a little bit different. It includes an Umbreon VMAX. So let's take a look through the deck list and see what's up with the deck these days. So it is a 4-3 Arceus VSTAR line, Arceus VSTAR 280 HP, a terrific Pokemon, one of my favorite V-Stars around. Trinity Nova does 200 damage, a solid number, although you're often attaching a DTE, so it's down to 180. But then with it, you get to attach 3 basic energy cards from your deck to your V Pokemon any way you like. So it's really there with the Duraludon build. It's how you get the energy on Duraludon, because it's difficult to do, so it makes that doable. And then it's got the V-Star Power Starbirth that is tremendous. Obviously, you can only use it once per game, but you search your deck for any 2 cards, put them into your hand, and shuffle. So a super good ability. You get basically, the one turn you do that, you get exactly what you want that turn. So one turn, usually early on, you do what you want. So you're really getting set up quite well. So it is paired with Duraludon VMAX. That is the other big attacker in the deck, a 2-2 Duraludon line. It's 330 HP dragon type, so no weakness. So 330 HP, no weakness. So a tanky Pokemon, and it's got the Skyscraper ability. It prevents all damage done to it by attacks from Pokemon that have special energy attached. So certainly makes life difficult for Mew and Lugia and decks such as that. And then it's got a very solid attack. G-Max Pulverization does 220 damage for fighting metal, and it hits through any effects. So that's nice, because obviously decks that wall you off are a problem, and it takes care of that. So I like that as an option. It's, as a dragon type, it's a multi-type of energy, so that's why Arceus really is the best way to set it up. And now we're playing in the deck also a 2-2 Umbreon VMAX line. It's a 310 HP dark type. It does max darkness, does 160 for 3 energy. Obviously, for Pokemon that are weak to dark, it's a nice option. And then it does 320, so very good there. And then Dark Signal ability, which is also a very nice thing with this deck. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve it, you may switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon, so that's 1 or 2 free boss's orders during the game, which is nice. Essentially, you get to use this like a boss's order, but you haven't used your supporter for turn, so you still get that also. So that's a nice feature with this also, even if you don't want to attack with it. Getting one on the bench to be able to evolve once is very nice. We play in the deck a Spiritomb, shuts off basic V's abilities, doesn't hurt. It hurts our Lumineon, but other than that, it really obviously causes a lot of trouble to Mew. As I mentioned there, we play Lumineon V, Luminous Signs. When you play it from your hand to your bench, you may search for a supporter, put it in hand, so it's a way to get a supporter you need once during the game. Very useful there. Then we play Radiant Alakazam with Painful Spoon's ability. Once during your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon, so a way to set up the damage and the knockouts that we need if we're coming up short, which we can with these attackers. They're not one-shotting the big Pokemon, so moving around damage can be certainly useful there. All right, so what else do we have here? Energy, we play 4 DTE, which is obviously great for Arceus. You want to get that on. Then 4 Metal, 4 Dark, and 2 Fighting. So, in some sense, I might like another Fighting, but it's okay. I have found it to be workable up to this point. I've seen builds where you substitute, replace 1 Dark with the Luminous Energy, and that is something I've considered doing. Haven't done it at the moment. I like the flexibility. Of course, you can't. Luminous doesn't provide something with DTE, but you don't want to attach the DTE generally to the Umbreon and the Duraludon. For trainers here, we'll walk through that. 1 Raihan, right? Accelerate an energy to a Pokemon if you were knocked out last turn, and search your deck for any 1 card. A very nice card. Since we're playing multiple VMAXs, you might not have a second Raihan might not be useful. You may not be able to pull it off anyway. 1 Escape Rope for switching and forcing our opponent to switch. 2 Judge, just as a disruption card there. 4 Nest Ball. 3 Lost City, we need to bump Path, and it lets us get rid of permanently of any Pokemon that we find annoying. So I think it's a stadium that makes sense. 2 research to help set up, 2 adventures, discovery, a supporter that I haven't played a lot in a while, but I kind of like it in this deck. Search for 3 V Pokemon, reveal and put in your hand. They can be basic Vs, VMAXs, V-Stars, so it is a good search. Search for 3 Vs with 1 supporter. 2 bosses orders to get what we want set up. 4 Iono, just a card I just love early on. It gets you a bunch of new cards. It just can disrupt our opponent if we're behind, so a versatile card. 1 Choice Belt to help get the damage numbers to where we want. 4 Ultra Ball, 1 Switch, and 1 Volo. Now, Volo's a fun card, and I'm glad to see that in this deck list. You discard one of your bench V Pokemon and all attached cards. So, like, you play Lumineon down. You can't attack with it, right? So you get that Lumineon V out of play. Or you have a V with a bunch of damage. You retreat it to the bench. You get it out of play. You lose the energy then that's attached, but getting, if you have a Umbreon VMAX or Duraludon VMAX, getting that out of play without having to give it 3 prizes, it's well worth losing the energy. So that's the deck list. Let's jump into the rank ladder, see how things go with it. It's a bit inconsistent, has been my experience so far. All right, so we'll see about the coin flip. I'm going to give a little music. I like that in the background. So we'll see what happens. Again, I certainly would like to go first if I could. If I go second, and I believe my opponent won the coin toss, so probably they'll choose to go first. That's what most people want to do. Yep. But if I can, so it's really, what I really need to do is get a Duraludon V with a DTE in the active. But I have the DTE but no basic Pokemon, so we'll see what happens, right? Because Duraludon, I didn't go over an Arceus V. If you get Arceus V with the DTE, it's a very nice start. I didn't talk about Arceus V, but for 2 colorless energy, I took 2 mulligans. Okay. So I guess they know exactly what I'm playing now. I'll put up the Umbreon. I'm not sure. Don't want to put down the Lumineon because that's no use to me. This is not great, is it? So I'm probably going to play down the Radiant Alakazam, play Lumineon, want to get, I think, an Iono, and then hope. Unfortunately, I'm in a spot of really having to hope. I need to really, going second, it's tough. Up against Chen Pao, so Duraludon's ability won't be any value to me because they're only going to play basic water energy, I have to imagine. So we'll see what happens here. Not great. Okay, so they play Mew. Since we lost this Air Balloon, I find the Mew's a little awkward. We don't have Air Balloon, we don't have Scoop Up Nets, so the Mew from Celebrations, which is a nice card. Mysterious Tail once during a turn. If it's in the active spot, look at the top 6 cards, reveal an item and put it in your hand that you want. So 1 item from the top 6 cards once per turn. Back when you could have Air Balloon or something and just switch it in and out as a Pokemon got knocked out, you promote the Mew, search for a card with it, and retreat it was quite nice. Now, switching is that much harder. Okay, so my Duraludon won't be able to hit the Alolan Vulpix, so none of my VMAXs or V-Stars can damage the Vulpix, so that's awkward. Okay, but I do have enough Pokemon in play that if I can gust things up, I can take my 6 prizes without having to knock out the Vulpix. So Alolan Vulpix is definitely a concern too. I kind of like that in this deck, I gotta say. So Palkia, Chen Pao, Alolan Vulpix. Haven't seen that combo before, I don't think. I like it. I find that interesting. Not, as I said, I'm not a big fan of the Mew, but otherwise, I do like what I've seen from this deck thus far. What did they discard? It just some Nest Balls, energy. All right, so Spiritomb. Well, that really ruins my day. So this might be a quick concede, because Spiritomb will shut off my Lumineon V. And so, unless I top deck something, I have nothing going on here. So I have Iono, so that's okay. That was the supporter I was going to do, so that's actually better for me, right? Not having to play my Lumineon V, and of course it wouldn't have worked. Not good, though, is what I say. Not good. So I guess I attach and pass. This really stinks. It's that simple, right? Again, I'm probably going to lose. This is a horrible start. We'll see what they do now. Do they not play Excalibur in their deck? Because they didn't get the basic down, right? And they didn't leave a bench spot for it. So they filled up their bench without Excalibur, without room for Excalibur. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, excuse me. It's unlikely that all of their basics, Frigibass or Frigibax, I think, were prized. And they had, obviously, they got their bench filled up with basics with a bunch of Nest Balls and a Battle VIP pass. See what they do. If they evolve Palkia, then they can knock out, potentially, they can knock out my Umbreon. They need to get 4 energies onto it, so we'll see. They'd have to get 3 in the disc. Well, they haven't attached per turn, right? I don't think. So they're not doing much, so I don't know what's going on. They have a big hand. Got a lot of Pokemon in play. I don't know if they made the most sound choices. Okay, so they're probably going to get the Palkia Vstar, I assume. And they're discarding energies, so... excuse me. So they can accelerate 3 energies with Palkia Vstar. I would assume they want to get things on Chen Pal. They want to knock out my Umbreon V. I'm not sure what they're doing with this deck, so I think I'm going to play out this game partly because I'm curious as to what they're going to do. Yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I have Adventurer's Discovery, so that's good. I can start to get Pokemon into play, and that's all right. So 1, 2, 3. If I make them, if they knock out the Umbreon and they knock out the Radiant Alakazam, then if I can force them to knock out my Arceus next, that's only 5 prizes for them, and then they got to hit through a Duraludon VMAX. So that, if I can force them into taking that line of prizes, I have a chance. Yes, I definitely have a chance. So I like that. We'll see what happens. But, my opponent definitely has the advantage here. I'm not sure what they're going to do next turn, though. Actually, I think they're just attaching 1 energy from hand per turn. They can accelerate if they have Melanie, a 2nd energy, but, 2 you really want to get more energies than the 2 into play at a time. So, yep, they knocked me out. They're down to 1 energy. So, I guess their plan is just to attach and just start attacking with Palkia. Alright, well that's good too. Do I want to... So I need a Vstar. And I'll take a Duraludon Vstar, I guess, right? Do I do that? Do I want to get a... Yeah, the problem is I don't have energy this turn. So I'm gonna... That is a big problem for me, right? Big problem. So I will play down the Umbreon. I don't... It could cost me the game, but honest, this game hasn't gone well. The reason I'm playing the Umbreon is if assuming I'm able to survive to get to the point where they're attacking with the Alolan Vulpix into my Duraludon, I need to gust them out of there, right, to take my prizes. The other thing, Alolan Vulpix, is I can potentially one-shot it if I have a rope and rope boss scenario. So we'll see what happens here, right? I don't know what their play is going to be. They use Palkia's V-Star power. Do they play Melanie? I don't know. All I've seen thus far is Pokemon Search and Energy from them. So, Energy, Rope, I guess I have to send us. So this is bad. So this is essentially going to cost me the game. Because I believe they're going to knock me out now. And But if I didn't bench the Umbreon, I would have lost anyway. So they're going to take out the Arceus? Yeah. All right, well, that's a good play by them. So I'll let them take the prizes, and I'll concede because they've wiped me out here, so which is fine. So concede, grab their prizes, and then I give up. And once I say I give up, what I notice happens is a Pokemon from my bench gets promoted. Some random Pokemon from my bench gets promoted, and I lose. So anyway, so did not set up at all. That's the one thing I've noticed with the deck. The deck is not consistent for getting going. So hopefully we get a better start this game. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'd prefer to go first, see what happens with the coin toss. I'd also prefer things to go a little faster, right? Okay, so I lose the coin toss again. You know, sometimes that's just the way the day is, right? So, anyway, making life tougher, but that's, you know, I just need things to go. I need to get luckier with this, and that's not the Pokemon I want to start. So that's... yeah, that's not the cards I want to see. And I don't have energy recovery in the deck, I don't think, right? Did I play Clara in this list? I don't think it does. I don't have the list in front of me. So, we'll see. One of the nice things, like when you play Magic the Gathering Arena, because the way they have a game log, which Pokemon, you know, please give us a game log. We need that very, very badly. All right, so up against Lost Zone. So Duraludon's ability is not going to be of any use again. You know, there's only a limited number of decks with special energy, so Duraludon's ability is often not great, but its damage output is pretty solid. So I think I'm going to want to research everything away that I have here. We'll see what I draw. I'd like to get an Arceus down. I need to get Arceus with a DTE. And I play, what, one rope, I think? I know I play rope. I don't know if I play a switch or not. I've been messing around with a few different deck lists recently, and I'm getting a little confused about them. I know that there's some switching card in here. It might just be one, though. So, the way the deck's built, it's not great going second. To get the pieces you need, you really need to get lucky. But that, you know, that's the way it is. There's not many ways to search for special energy in the game. Right, so to build a deck that can search out that special energy, you're really making some other significant compromises. All right, so they're gonna. That's okay. A bunch of energies to lose. All right, hopefully I get something I need. Not great. Okay, so do I get rid of the Volo? I guess I'll ditch the Volo. I do like Volo. What other... I'm concerned with my energy count, I gotta say. So, get an Arceus. I have DTE, so I think I want to attack this turn, right? Get my energy on my Duraludon. It's not a terrible setup, I gotta say. Could look, it's not a good turn, but things could be worse. I guess that's what I'll say. So, fighting, metal. So I have energy for one Duraludon VMAX. What do I have? I have one VMAX in the deck, two V-Stars. So, put all the energy on the Duraludon. Like I said, he's not going to be immune, but he's still pretty tanky at 330. So it takes a lot of hits for them to get through. So it gives me a chance. I'm in an awkward spot. What's my energy situation here? I've got two fighting energy. Okay, so I have, what, I believe 4 fighting energies in the deck. All right, well, they're not going to knock me out. So, and if they rope again, that's fine too. They're not going to knock out either of my Pokemon, so they're at 3 cards. You know, they're not having the world's greatest start either, right? I got to imagine they didn't really want to attach energy to Lumineon, right? Manually attaching to Lumineon isn't making their day either. All right, so Arceus use my V-Star power. So let me just look at what I'm going to grab here. I'm going to want to get probably the Duraludon. And I have a Switch card. Okay, so Switch isn't bad. All right, I have lost... Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, I need an energy. So I can't grab Duraludon, can I? I really need to attack here, right? I think I need to guarantee attacking. So, which means an energy, and I can't afford to retreat. I can't toss away 2 energies. I don't really think I can do that. No, I cannot do that. So I need a Switch card and a metal energy, I guess. My energy count is just terrible. This count at this point, would I block? I can attack with Umbreon. I don't think I want to. I think I just want to. I probably should get some energy retrieval in this deck. I was a little concerned about that. That's always been one of the issues I've had, I gotta say, with this deck. Let me start attacking, and I don't want to attach that energy, right? I can attack with an Umbreon still. I have 1 dark energy, and I have... All right, Lumineon's not bad. I could use that and get probably a research next turn, because I really would like to get my Duraludon evolved too. I mean, I'm happy to take prizes with Arceus as things go. So this game, first game, was complete disaster. This game, not going well, but my opponent is putting on a bigger display of bricking than I have. So Colress experiment. So now we can start. Now they should be able to start to do something. All right, got rid of a Switch card and 2 ropes. Just looking at that, I'm glad for all the switching cards they gotten rid of, right? Just wanted to know. Lost Vacuums gone away. So, you know, Lost City, I don't mind getting that down into play and having that stick. Just getting rid, you know, they're hit, because I'm going to be hitting through a lot of Pokemon on them. You know, the game should be showing me the Pokemon or energy that goes back in. I think it might have been just 1 card, in which case it was the Comfy. So are they going to attack, or are they just saving it? So I think that's their sarcastic thumbs up that I have nothing going on here. I suspect. Oh, they're going to attack with all right, I guess we'll see if they're giving up with the game or not, right? Oh, actually, they do lose. They're losing. So if they attack... Oh, no, they're not. Okay, so they're not losing this turn. I thought, because Lumineon V, if it attacks, it gets shuffled into the deck. Which is okay. So they're getting up a Duraludon V. So I could hit into the Duraludon, right? I wouldn't mind. I think I might want to do that, because he's going to be a threat to me. All right, so I'm going to... So I think I just research here, or maybe I want a boss and hit into the Duraludon. I only have 1 boss though, so that's not great, right? I think I want to research, save the boss for later. I don't want to attach the DTE. I don't. Well, maybe I'll attach the DTE to Lumineon V. I can retreat him if I want to, right? That gives me the retreat option. I can't attach, obviously, from hand, but I didn't hit energy anyway, so it didn't matter. All right, so that's not bad. So let me get my VMAX into play here. So they have 7 energy, so they can potentially attack with Duraludon VMAX this next turn, but it's going to be harder after I knock out the Comfy. So what's my energy situation? Can I attack? Is there a DTE? So there's DTE left, so I have the possibility of attacking with Umbreon, so that's good. I have 1 more DTE in deck. I got to look to see how many of the discards. So there might be something in the prize let's see, energies. Yeah, so 1 DTE is prized also, so that's good. So that my opponent really needs to be able to attack with Drapion this turn. So they might be able to do it, right? They need the VMAX, right? Or is it, no, it's Drapion V. So Drapion V, sorry, which is, I do have one. So attack cost is 2 less because I played that, right? So 2 energy they can attack. They might not play the V. It's a Vstar, I believe. So I will just blow up the V itself with Duraludon. So Dragonite V is dangerous, right? It doesn't one-shot me though, so that's okay, right? 2 energies and they can attack with Drapion. They will knock out my Arceus. Okay, they're not doing that. I'm a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised. All right. Yeah, it's just I saw, I think, a Comfy. Was that it? I try to think were there more Pokemon in the discard pile. So they could switch. All right. So they're switching and attacking. Okay. Now the downside is I do not one-shot them. Right. That is a bit of an issue. They're not going to one-shot me. I do play one Choice Belt. So what do I want to do here, right? Let's see. Oh, the game is really liking me. So I will knock them out. I don't think I want to gust things up. So I'm doing 220. So I hit that. That was really, really fortunate. So I'm just going to attack it, hit into them. So that effectively gives me game, right? They made the right play. I got lucky there. I was going to probably judge. The question I had was, I was thinking, do I want to judge or play Iono there? Okay, they're playing it out. So now I just have to finish him off. Obviously, I can gust up the Drapion V with my Umbreon VMAX. If they retreat it, right, they might want to get if they like Kramer it, they will swing him into the active. If they can, I will Umbreon for the game, and the deck will do the things that it needs to. It was a slow start for me, slower start for my opponent. My opponent went first, though, right? So both games I went second, which is certainly not what you want. I was able to power up with get energy on, though, I believe, right? I believe turn 1 I got to attack with Arceus, get the energies on to Duraludon. So that's okay. That doesn't matter. So they're going to lose. So I'll just hit into them. I could, right? So they weren't able to retreat, and I had the answer if they did. So there, the deck comes through, does what it does. Haven't obviously needed to take advantage of the walling aspect of the Duraludon VMAX, but it's a very solid attacker, 220, and hitting through effects is nice, so you don't have to worry about any walling things, which are out there, right? So, all right, ranked up again to 720, which is what? Houndoom. I'm kind of falling in and out of Houndoom tier lately. That's kind of, as I'm kind of messing around, switching decks, that's kind of where I'm settling into recently about this 720 rank. So a solid deck, for sure. Umbreon, I do like the Umbreon. I think, let me just take a quick look at the deck list to make some suggestions about tweaking it. I don't know if Spiritomb's necessary or not, right? You could try cutting Spiritomb for sure. And I would like some energy retrieval in it. So I might put in Clara could be good for that, to get them to hand, or it may be better because you have Arceus to put in the Super Rod, right? Super Rod, and then you could cut either Spiritomb or it could be an Adventurer's Discovery, maybe. You don't need 2 of those. The Volo's a fun card to have, but not super necessary. You could cut a Dark Energy and put in the special energy that covers all types. What was it? Luminous Energy, I believe it is. Those are some of the options you could do to tweak the deck list, but it's a pretty solid list. If you haven't played Arceus Duraludon in a while, which I haven't, this is the way it's being played right now. It's got its advantages. Give it a try. See how you like it. Take care.